I'm Noreen Thomas. I'm an organic producer, and I also gather farmers to sell to schools, institutions, and restaurants so that we can have a market share here in Fargo-Moorhead area. To connect producers and the end users of our product is usually just gathering the producers of what they have available. It also really helps to jump ahead to know what's coming so you don't have 20 farmers with box loads of tomatoes. So it's finding that niche opportunity too, which may be a specialized product that you haven't thought of yet. What are the needs? Connect that, go to the area, find out what they're looking for and what are their problems in obtaining that product. Maybe it's an herb that they're getting from Mexico that now we can grow in the Midwest. Food justice is actually a human right for access to good, fresh, healthy foods. It's everyone's right, children, seniors, not the highly processed food because that doesn't get us anywhere, but the fresh, nutritious food that's available for them to eat. Farmers are notorious for being very independent. They're used to that because you have to do it. It lies on yourself. But really to organize, and it's usually someone in the group that is kind of the gatherer of the cats, so to speak, because cats are very run every which way, but can organize that and make a case, a solid case, and help make sure that all the connections are being made. If it's a restaurant and that chef needs it Tuesday morning at 8, be there at 7:45 with that product in hand. So that means making sure that all the connections are made. If there's a miscommunication, if there's a misconnect, that can backfire and give everyone a black eye. If one producer doesn't come through and that chef is waiting on it, it's critical that the whole group rallies around and helps support. Also to making sure that the insurance is in place. What are they asking for? If it's $2 million policy, making sure that everyone, no matter how small, has the opportunity to sell and grow. Because you don't grow from a large place, you grow from a small place. So I think it's really important to have all those things and the organizer of the group to make sure everything's in place. If paperwork is needed, if it is organic, then have that certificate. If they're saying it's certified organic, have it available and upfront for everyone. I think education on both parts. One is that to the director of the food service that if they're growing heirloom tomatoes, they don't look like standard grocery style tomatoes. If that's what they want, that's a different maybe producer. But being able to communicate that maybe we should start at a banquet level. Let's get used to each other because they'll say to me, I want yellow squash. And I'm like, do you want buttercup or do you want acorn? Very different, and we gotta talk about that. And for them to go, the food service personnel to understand that it's in the field. The beef is on the hoof. So once you make a commitment to me and you cancel, I'm at a dead end there until I find another place for it. So I think there's a lot of communication has to go on and a real commitment to the food service place. They are assessed and evaluated on bottom line, black and white. If we evaluate them maybe also on environmental issue, you know, the college per se can't talk environmental and then somebody's talking bottom line. The two have to meet. Yeah. So I think there's communication. For the farmer, there's usually a go-to person, and in this area it'll be me. I'll go to the food safety meetings and condense it for the farmer, because farmers are notorious for not wanting to go because they're on the hook out there. If they're not working, they're hiring an intern. So sometimes you see the farmers not showing up for a local foods meeting because they can't. Yeah. They just can't. So we have to communicate with them by Skype, by email, making it very at nighttime, on weekends, so that they can attend. They want to, but if I have to pay an intern $12 an hour and I'm sitting in a meeting, and I'm not generating profit, it's a business decision. So I think it's a communication on both sides. A lot of the food service will assume that a farmer can do mid-sized tomatoes, softball size, 200 of them. Well, when they grow in the field, they're big and they're little because nature said that's going to be that way.
Right.
So you have to say, okay, can we work on pounds here? Can you convert that recipe to pounds? We can provide you with great fresh vegetables, plus the employees are excited because it's same old standard tomato. Do you want that with the dirt on or dirt off? You probably want the dirt off. So we have to communicate because otherwise I'm going to bamboozle you with carrots with a bit of dirt on. You're going to faint if I bring them into the food service. So there's always a connect, always making sure you keep that. And one delivery. If you deal with a large institution and you've got 2 van loads of vegetables, if you're coming at different times, you're making more work and you stress them. So that one delivery, one receipt, one invoice, one voice is very critical to the operation. Then on the food service part, just like the restaurant, it's very relationship bound. If we've done something every year and you inquire about mushrooms, for instance, that we grow on our farm, I'm starting to kind of save those because I have other people that want them, but I'm saving them for you until I hear from you. And so communication is really important to the farmer because there's a lot of room for misconnect because it is kind of sexy to order online, just touch the buttons. But when you work with a relationship, it's different. Plus, the relationship is it's a hallmark of your university. Can you say you actually are doing local food, or are you doing a little bit but saying it? Also, who's your donors to your university institution? Who's going to show up when you need volunteers? It's usually that farmer or that community member. So it has a lot more strings than just a business dealings.